Welcome back, guys, and we have the Cold Slither San Diego Comic-Con exclusive G.I. Joe Classified 4-pack, and I'm excited because this was the only one I was able to get. I was not able to get the Marvel Legends Snap 3-pack. Pretty upset about that still, but at least I was able to get my hands on this. Now, I didn't get this at the con. I was one of the lucky few that was able to sign on to Hasbro Pulse and grab it, and now it's up for pre-order, so I'm glad I got it before the pre-order. But with all that, let's get right to it. Let's check out this 4-pack, and we're going to start with the box first. And first up, we do have this slipcover, which is similar to the Hellfire Club box set that came with the slipcover, just like this. Got G.I. Joe Classified on the front. You see some of the bikes on the side from the Dreadnoughts. Looking at the back of the slipcover, you got the Dreadnought logo, the Cold Slither logo. You'll be joining us soon. That is in reference to the episode. If you haven't watched it, it's on YouTube for free. It's a really wacky, dumb episode. The whole point of them starting this band is so they can start some kind of mind control thing with the people in the audience or whoever listens to the music. It's real weird. And then I love these neon printed concert posters. I used to see those all the time when I used to go to shows, and it just brings me right back to that time period. On the right side of the slipcover, it looks like you got some Easter eggs to Zartan. You got a mask there. Got some G.I. Joe posters, Duke with a knife through his head on the dartboard. And on the other side, it looks like you have an homage to Ripper with his jaws of death. And then some music crates there. 163. I'm not sure if that's because this is number 163, like the classified series numbers everything. Getting the slipcover off, you do have lots of cool Easter eggs. I'm not going to go through all of them, just some of my favorites. I guess you got Road Pigs, Hammer, or Center Block Cleaver there. Really cool. So just lots of cool artwork, lots of cool graffiti on the back of this alleyway. I like the top of the box. Looks like the top of a building with all the HVAC units and the exhaust. Now the side of the box is the same as the slipcover at the bottom, but the top you can see the tour dates in that Cold Slither poster. Then same thing on the other side. The bottom half is the same as the slipcover, and then you have an Average Joe's poster tour date on the other side. And you got lots of fun stuff happening on the other side. So first off, let's start with the motorcycles. It looks like you have an homage to Buzzer with the chainsaw. You have an homage to Torch with the gasoline tank for his flamethrower next to the motorbike. Zardana in the middle, but what I'm really excited for are these gem posters. So there is a comic book series where there was a crossover, Cold Slither and Gem. Does this mean we'll get some Gem figures in 1/12 scale? I don't know. I would definitely buy them because if you know me, I'm a huge fan of Dazzler, and they share some unique qualities that I think make them pretty similar. So it'd be kind of cool to get a team of a female band. I think that'd be awesome. Now looking at the box opened, we do have Ripper, Zartan, Buzzer, and Torch all in their box. Really cool how it opens. I don't like the shape of this box because that means it's going to be a bitch to store. So we'll get over that. I usually keep the boxes for the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, but you can see all the cool artwork, each name above each figure, Long Live Cobra at the bottom. I love this kind of snake skin pattern they have going on there. Got the speakers right over here to the side. Just some cool artwork. There's one on the other side too. And I'm just excited to get this open. So we're going to get all the figures out, get all the instruments out. Let's check this baby out. Once you get all the figures out, you're going to be able to see this really cool backdrop. This is actually the stage from the episode, and there's a lot of fun nods on here. There's a bunch of trash on the stage, like people were throwing stuff, the wires, and then you have the set list that's actually on the floor. I don't know how hard this is to get out. I'm not going to try because I think I'm going to rip the cardboard, but if you did want to use this as a backdrop, you could probably take all these back pieces out. And looking at all the figures out of the box, we definitely have Buzzer as the tallest one with his mohawk, then Zartan, then Ripper, and Torch. So I think these are pretty much all the same figures. Most of their deco is pretty light. They're supposed to be wearing spandex, so think similar to Marvel Legends. You're not going to get a lot of different paint and textures on, but we'll go through them one by one. First impressions, I love this look. The 80s were wild, and early 90s were wild. And this is kind of what, if you were manufacturing a band, this is what it would look like. And that's the whole point of why they started a band. So let's look at these figures, and we'll go from Buzzer all the way to Torch. First up, let's start with Buzzer. And there's a few key differences. I like this from the original figure. The glasses stay on his head nice and snug. I might take those off and put those on my other Buzzer. but design-wise, he looks really cool with the mohawk and the ponytail. And I'll bring this mohawk up in a little bit, but the pearl necklace, the handkerchief, the denim vest for me is what really makes it. I love that. I wish that would have carried through to the pants. I think it would have added a little extra level of detail on it. He has some wristlets going on there, the spike belt with the Cold Slither logo. Again, no denim texture on the legs. I think these boot cuffs might be reused from maybe some Marvel Legends, maybe Forge. I could be wrong, but they don't fall off, which is good. And I remember my Forge figure, those things are falling off all the time. He has a snake tattoo on his right arm, and then on the back it says Cold Slither there. So I think that's really cool. Now I'm not going to go over articulation with all these figures because they're virtually the same. The only thing that makes them a little different, I would say, is whoever's wearing a vest. So for him, you're going to get him to go forward, and then it's not going to inhibit him to go too far back, but there's still not a lot of movement there. So probably because of that vest, you are not going to be able to get him into any backwards poses, but he's the drummer, so what else do you need? He's going to be sitting down most of the time. Now, as the drummer, this guy comes with a heck of a loadout. He needs to have all those pieces part of his drum kit, so we'll go through them. First, he does come with a set of drumsticks, and since they only come with trigger hands, I was a little worried that these wouldn't fit into his hands well enough, but they fit into his hands nice and snug. So before I lose them, I'm just going to put those into his hands. And looking at the bass drum, it does come with the big bass drum, the high tom, the low tom, and I love all the metal work going around the drums. I think they did a good job there. I wish they would have painted the attachment pieces the same color, but they were obviously molded in a different kind of plastic. The logo of Cold Slither on the front, little air hole there, pretty cool. And then nothing on the back. So I'm kind of wondering if I can make something, if I wanted to change that logo out for anything. I think that'd be pretty neat. You got your splash symbol here. This thing comes off if you wanted to, but I'm going to be super careful, especially with all this pieces. They look super flimsy, so I was afraid to get them out of the box. You have your crash symbol, and this one's cool because it comes with the little foot pedal right there. Same thing as the other one, you could take those symbols off. You get your floor tom, your snare drum, then the kick pedal I think is really cool. It has some nice detail on the little knob right there. Then he does have a seat to stand on, which is awesome. I'm glad they did actually put that in there. The only thing I think that would have elevated this figure is if they would have given him some sort of drumstick effect that looked like it was spinning. None of these figures came with extra hands. I think he probably could have benefited from one that actually had that spinning effect. Maybe that's something that's not too hard to make. Maybe I'll give it a go. And that's really my only gripe with this figure. The more I look at him, he looks like Woody Harrelson from Natural Born Killers. Next up, we have Zartan, the leader of the group, and I love this figure mostly because I think this would make great quick reuse if they wanted to do a Ninja Force Zartan. Just take that mohawk from Buzzer and give the same outfit with some extra deco, and boom, you have him. So this is my only Zartan because, like I said, I'm holding out for a Ninja Force version. That was my favorite one. I know some people don't like the neon colors, but that was my jam, which is also why I like this set a lot. So again, I think articulation is pretty much the same on these guys, but I like the face paint. The hair is really cool, and he has the black cuffs, yellow spandex, not much paint there, and then he has the black belt with then the silver ring belt there. I love the stitches on the spandex. That's really cool. And this vest is like a different, softer type of plastic. This is the only thing I think will hinder articulation, even though you can kind of get him to crunch forward, but even back, you're not going to get too much, but I think you'll still be able to get him in some pretty dynamic rock star poses. Now the loadout for the next three are pretty light. They don't come with much, but he does come with pretty rad bass guitar. Now this is very similar, if you're not familiar with different brands of instruments, a BC Rich guitar. I am loving that green splash on the body of the guitar, but the 4 strings, the fretboard, the knobs, everything's lined up pretty nicely. You have the volume buttons there and the humbucker, so all the detail that needs to be on the front is there. Not much on the back. There's a few details. You can see the bolts where the fretboard's screwed in, and then you can see the back where the electronics go. He does come with multiple straps. I don't know why. This one comes with green stubs that you can switch them out, and he does come with the other 2, but I don't know why you would need 2 other straps unless they break. Now again, I think the only thing that would have elevated this guy, and I'm going to say the same thing for Ripper, is some alternative hands. He at least should have had a pick hand where he's holding the pick, and then also a power chord hand. We did get this Spider-Punk where he comes with both of those, so they could have just switched over to the Marvel Legends team and borrowed them from there. So you have Spider-Punk doing a little power chord. That's not a common hand that you can just swap with another character. Neither is the one with the pick. So I think both Zartan and Ripper should have at least come with those types of hands. Next up we have Ripper, and I'm loving him from head to toe. I love the blowout bushy hair, very reminiscent of the 80s. And again, like my original Ripper figure, I don't keep his glasses on because they don't fit. These are tucked into the hair. I don't know if they come off. I tried to pull them off. They're in there, so I know I'm not going to lose them, so that's good. But he shares the same pants, I think, as Zartan with the straps there and the spandex, but he has some other cool elements. So he does have this rubber vest. Can you still get him forward? You can actually get him forward pretty well. It's a big open space there. He has the straps, and then if you wanted to get him back, not so bad. So he does have that going for him. He does have the straps on his arm. That one feels like it's going to fall off. This one is on there a little tighter. And he does have some tattoos, but the one on his shoulder I don't think was executed very well. That one's almost covered by the bicep swivel, and then this one's covered by the strap. This one looks pretty good. Not sure if that's consistent with the other figure. I think it is, but so you have the vest, softer plastic. He has the belt, nice paint on the buckle, and then I love the stripes going down. They mostly match when you turn at the thigh cut, so that's good. And then he has this cool blue sash there. It's soft plastic. It's not going to get in the way of anything. And then he does have these blue sashes at the ankle, so hides the boot cut pretty well. Like I said, loadout for the others are pretty light. He does come with a pretty cool looking guitar, and if I had to guess what brand of guitar this is closely related to probably a Jackson guitar. Just has that awesome design on the front with the pink, the blues, and the yellows, and has the 6 strings. So really cool all the way up from the humbuckers, the strings, and then same thing on the back. The straps are held on by that yellow right there, so it does match the guitar pretty well. Ripper is definitely my favorite of the set. He has a lot of different things going on with the color splash of the guitar, the spandex, and again, not to sound like a broken record, gave him a hand with a pick and a power chord hand. I think that would have really elevated these figures. And last up we have Torch. He has that same old expression, looking like Lemmy from Motorhead. And this figure, the original Torch, the glasses were molded in. I honestly prefer that. I'd rather not have to search for them in the carpet, but he has a different hairstyle this time. And his costume's pretty boring to me. He has the cool arrow there. He has the belt with the cold Slither belt buckle and just black plain pants. So he does have these cool gauntlets on the side, and then his boots have a little extra deco with the red and the gray. So this one, since there's nothing inhibiting his chest with the vest, I'm sure he can probably get a little further than most of the characters there. So I think not having that extra vest on helps him a little bit. So he's still cool. Definitely probably my least favorite of the bunch, just because I think the others look a little more fun. And Torch comes with a pretty cool keytar. Now, I think this is awesome. It has the flame effects, torch, flames, flames, torch. Makes sense, but lots of great detail. The buttons, the keys, black and white, the flame effects, all these other buttons and controllers. Pretty cool. Not much detail on the back except for that panel, but I think this looks great and it matches him, which I think this is the only figure that comes with a accessory that matches his color scheme, so that's pretty cool. Like the others, the only thing else I would have liked to see would have been different hands. Luckily, Torch has black hand. I have plenty of spare black gloved hands, so I think it would be great to get some kind of open hand on him so he can look like he's hitting those keys. So I think that would be awesome once I make the swap out. And just real quick, the only thing I think the set is missing holistically are a few mic stands. So I bet there's a lot of people on eBay right now or going to Hobby Lobby looking for dollhouse mic stands. So how do you forget that? You have everything else to make the band but the mic stands. I know all the other things I requested would probably have been extra, but the mic stand should have at least been standard, I feel. And here's the band rocking out all together. Now, like I said, the one thing that would have elevated this, other than a few extra hands, would have been a mic stand. So right now, I don't have a singer. And y'all know any chance I get to break out my Dazzler figure, I'm going to put her here. I didn't buy these for my G.I. Joes. I bought these so that Dazzler can have a band, and I think they all work pretty well together. Dazzler with the Zartan face paint, I think they all got some bright colors. I gave her that guitar, which I think came from a Deadpool pack, I'm not sure, but everyone looks different. She matches well there, and she has her microphone, so now they have a singer. So this works out perfectly for me. Which maybe this does give me hope that they teased Gem on the package. We might get some Gem-like figures, or maybe an update to Dazzler to go with this band. That's why I really want to see if I can change out the logo on the front. Maybe I can make it very Dazzler specific, but I have my Dazzler diorama. These guys are going to live on there, believe it or not. Just for fun, let's throw Spider-Punk in there. We have a complete ensemble now. So what do you guys think? Are you going to display these with your Joes? Do you have other ideas for them? Are you going to swap out the band members for any other figures? This is a great set. I hope everyone that wanted it got it. I know it's up for pre-order right now. It won't show up till September, but at least you have a chance to get it, unlike the Marvel Legends San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. And that's all I got for now, folks. Hope you enjoyed this one, walking through these figures with me. Can't wait to get them on the display and check them out. And until the next episode, we'll catch you next time.